Okay, so it has been a while since I have made an update video. The last time I made a video was in June or July. Y'all know I'm in school, so it is just crazy, and then life and everything else, and I barely have any time for myself. So anyway, so I finished fall semester, and now I am on my spring semester of my last full year. So we have summer school in May, not really May, June, July, and part of August. And then we have our last couple classes in fall. So that will be our last time where we're actually in the classroom. So around this time next year, I will be on a fieldwork site, so that's exciting. Anyway, the last video that I made was talking about my relationship, and I know some people have asked me for an update on that situation, and I've kind of been holding out and holding off on it because I feel like it changes all the time. So we were having a rough 6 months up to that point of that video. And then it kind of just, after that video, it kind of continued and kind of got worse. I went on field work in the end of August for a week. And during that time, I could just feel something was off. You know what I mean? It just wasn't right. He would just be very distant and very vague with me, and very there's a front, there's a wall up, there was no emotion attached to anything. So I still, kept with it and tried power through it, and come November, well, October-ish is when things got kind of bad. He went to visit his family in Texas, and I didn't know about it. He didn't tell me. Well, come to find out, he ends up meeting up with this girl who has a kid in Texas, and she posted on her Instagram, and the way I found out was, you scroll through your search thing on Instagram and you see random pictures. Well, I saw a picture of him and this girl. I was like, what the heck is this? So I click on it, and it's oh, I really, these two are my world. And she posts a couple days later, oh, I miss him. Who says that? If you're not in a relationship with somebody, who says that? So I really feel like he was talking to her. Obviously he was talking to her, because how would she have known he was there? And they met up, so I kind of had a feeling that something was going on with that situation, and he just would completely deny it. And so anyway, fast forward to November. I am in class, and I leave my phone in my room for most of the day. So I come back in between classes to drop off some orthosis material that I had. And I get this irate text message from him saying, what the bleep are you doing, this and that. Well, apparently one of his exes, I know which one, made a fake profile of me and decided to add his boss and say a bunch of stuff that I would not know at all. And what he thought that was me to begin with just really hurt me, because one, does it look like I have time for that crap? No. Two, I wouldn't know who his boss name is or what his boss looks like, because he's never told me. So how would I know? And it's just really, dude, he really just truly doesn't understand how busy I am, partly because I never make that as an excuse, and I never tell him what I'm doing. I have 5 million things I do during the day, and he doesn't get that at all. So things spiraled a little more out of control. I was supposed to go out and see him in January. I never did. I wanted to see him several times before that and never was able to. So the thing that kind of like, I don't know what broke the camel's back to begin with. It's kind of a blur because I was in the middle of finals, and he was like saying this stuff like, oh, like I think he was like kind of breaking up with me, but I kind of was starting to end things with him because I felt like, what am I doing? Like, he doesn't contact me during the day. I barely speak with him. Like, that's not a relationship, you know? He was very distant, very just shut off from me. And it's like, well, why are you in my life if you're going to be like that? So it was towards finals. I was like studying for this test that I needed to pass. I needed to pass the final. And he was saying stuff like, oh, I want to, still talk to you and things like that. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand what you're trying to do. I think he was trying to break up with me, but he knew that I was in the middle of studying for my finals, so he kind of put it off. So then I went back home to California, and he sent a long message saying, he was being very distant and he wants to, still be friends. He never really officially said, I'm breaking up with you. And I think that was the hardest thing for me, is he wasn't just straight to the point, partly because I don't think he really wanted that to begin with, but he didn't know what he wanted to do. So things got bad and he didn't want to see me in January, and that was really hard for me. So I ended up canceling my flight. I was in a really bad depression in January before I came to school, and I was just all over the place because I didn't know what he wanted. I knew what I want. I've always known what I want. But he doesn't know what he wants, and that's what is hard. How can you chase something if you don't know what you want? So there's that. So anyway, fast forward, it is March 16th. I'm on my spring break right now. It's Thursday. And we have been talking pretty much for the last couple days, consistently. So since January, he's kind of been off and on. He'll pop in and then leave for a couple days. The longest time was almost 2 weeks. It was 11 days that I didn't hear from him, and he would do this pop in, pop out type of thing. Talk to me one day and then I won't hear from him for 4 or 5 a week or so. And I can't deal with that. I don't work well with people who want to pop in, pop out. You're either in or you're out. I don't have time for you if you're going to be popping in and popping out. I'm too busy to be doing that kind of crap. So I kind of was fed up last week with it, because he texts me saying, oh, I'm sorry, it's been a few days. I'm just, getting back. And because he was actually away for a couple weeks. He went to Texas. Did he see her? I have no idea. Do I have a feeling that they were dating or talking or whatever? Yes, I do. I have a strong feeling about that. Are they still talking? I have no idea. In the back of my mind, I think they are, but I really don't know. Because his feelings are very mixed, and he would never admit to me that he cheated on me or met somebody else or seen somebody else. He would never tell that to me, I don't think. So I'm kind of in this waiting and seeing how things work out. So anyway, so we have been talking for the last couple days, and I'm like, what the heck is up with this? I have not had a steady conversation in the longest time, and it's really weird for me. Because there's been days where I'd never hear from him. So it's kind of a complicated situation. So technically we are broken up. We are no longer together. But it feels like we're still together. Do you know what I mean? And it's so confusing because people ask me how that is, and I'm like, it's complicated. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's complicated. Because I still feel like I'm with him. And in some aspects, I think he still feels like he's with me, but we just we don't have that title. It's like he wants me, he wants to be in my life, but he doesn't want the title associated with it, you know, because I think for him it gives him mixed feelings and mixed emotions. And this is what happens when you have too much schooling. You overanalyze and you think way too much, but I always say there's always a reason why people do what they do. And I really truly feel that he's lost, and I've known he's been lost for a while, and I pray every day that he can figure himself out, and hopefully we can work out. But whatever is going to be is going to be. What's meant to be will always find a way. So that's how I look at life now. So anyway, that is kind of the update. If anybody has more specific questions, feel free to ask them and I will gladly answer them. So thank you for watching. Doodles!